In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this 5-ounce JP initial ring from a customer's old sentimental metal. It's got the catapults on the sides, customer's name, fully patterned. Enjoy it. We've got the 5-ounce initial ring freshly printed here. Just going to give it a once over, get off all these little remnants of the supports, smooth everything out that needs a bit of smoothing. We've got some separation of the wax here, but that doesn't really matter. And yeah, just give it a little tidy up now, and it means less work once it's cast, and it's obviously easier to do while it's in plastic, so we'll do that now. Right, we're just going to attach this to the base, get it in there nice and sturdy, make sure it's not falling out and stop any of the metal flowing down that side bit where the rubber is. Just go around the entire thing. There we go. There's now time to weigh all of the investment powder and the water up. So we'll tear that to 0. Oh, almost bang on. So these are now sitting aside for a couple of hours, then they're going in the furnace to burn away all of that resin that's inside this investment mixture. So it's still wet at the minute. A couple of hours, that'll be rock solid. So we're going to carefully add this heavy keeper ring and the old JP ring into the melting pot. It's already quite hot, so we're going to be using our gloves. And stop it just dropping straight to the bottom with all that weight. We're going to take it to the side, and that's it. That's that. Leave that in there for 10 minutes to melt properly. Success. See that? It's still cherry red, which means in the centre of that it's still going to be molten. Might need to recast that. Looks a bit filled in there, but we'll see. So what I'm doing for attempt number 2 is the metal flowing into the top of the ring, and the thinking is the metal will come down to the bottom and fill up to the top, and it should be less likely to snap these thin bits. Whereas when the metal's flowing from the bottom upwards, the metal's going to come in and the pressure's going to smash onto those thin bits. Whereas when it's this way, I'm hoping the filling it up should be a little bit more gentle on it. But we'll see. And it's time to quench this. We have to scrub that out before we know how it looks, but could be in luck, you never know. So I'm just going to cut it off of the sprue to get a closer look at what we're working with. So cutting off those sprues revealed a big hole in it. So what we're going to do, third method, I'm certain it will work. We're going to do the letters and the ring separately with some pegs. Pegs will come through the ring and we'll solder the letters onto the ring, and that should work perfectly there. This is attempt 3, and I'm certain this one will work because it's what I normally do on bigger bits, but I thought I'd just give it a go at doing it in one piece before. what we're going to do it in 2 parts or 3 parts with these little pegs. Going to drill guide holes where these pegs are, where these little knobs are, and then solder the letters in through the back. Alright, attempt number 3. Fingers crossed. So we've got both pieces cast here. Let's quench the first one. Oh, big fins on that, but they're easy to remove. Everything else looks just as it should. So looks like we're going to be in luck. Just going to peel these fins off and we'll neaten up those edges later on. Just going to saw through this sprue, remove it from the ring. Just going to do the same with these initials. There's one. So where we've done these in separate bits, this whole top bit's come out perfectly, as well as the letters. What was happening before was, imagine this is in the investment powder, there would be a ridge of really thin investment, and as the metal flowed in, it snapped it and just messed with the whole design. In doing it in separate bits, it's eliminated that problem. And we've just got to drill through this where we've left those pilot holes and solder them together. We're just going to file these edges down where we cut it away from the sprue. And I'm just going to continue that on, so with the sides and the top. The back, we do have to get this as flush as we can. It should be pretty straight anyway, but we've got to just make it as flush as we can, so when we put it in, it sits directly on this top flat bit. Which it should do anyway, but we just got to double check. Just going to take all these sharp edges off around the rim, so while we're working with it, we don't cut our hand up. So it's just going to go in the tumbler for 20 minutes or so, tidy up this inside bit before we solder them letters on, because that's going to be our last opportunity to work in there. So it's going to just roll around on there for a little while. Just going to give all around the sides a little polish up before they're attached. So I'm just going to drill through these 2 pilot marks that I made. So the letters are aligned perfectly with the holes, and I'm just going to add this ring to the back to fill in the little gap that's left, making sure not to move anything. So that ring is now touching the peg as well as the letters. Now we're going to add a bit of borax to it, help everything flow nicely. There we go. Next, bit of solder. It's going to go on the back. Nice big chunk. You can always remove the excess, and we want enough to flow down so it's nice and solid in there. Might have to use some tweezers to get that, it's a bit heavy. Now we're just going to heat that up. It's just going to go in the tumbler with the fine powder. Now we'll give it an initial polish in all them little gaps. So the ring's had half an hour in the tumbler. Now it's time to just tidy it all up. So we're going to file this down. There's a few little balls on there from the casting, and a few little bits of these engraving that we've got to bring back out. Basically just go over everything, smooth it up, and spend a couple hours getting it looking nice. So I've just been adding a bit of texture to the background of this catapult because it looked a bit boring with that flat there. So I'm just giving it a bit of texture. Just Time for a little dip in the ultrasonic, get all the dirt off. So that's the ring, all finished up. Hope you enjoyed the video, even though we had a few snags along the way. Finished result came out pretty good.